We roll on with 3-round mock drafts with the Cincinnati Bengals, one of the most important teams in the NFL offseason. I believe they are bringing back T. Higgins at all cost, and that leads to some of my selections here. But there is a player in the first round that I absolutely love for Cincinnati, and I think he would be an immediate impact to help that defense. I'm Jeremy Green of the Sportsocracy and NFLDraft.net, and this is a 3-round mock draft for the Cincinnati Bengals.
I get knocked down, I get back up.
The Sportsocracy.
And I'm unapologetic.
We start at pick 17 with Cincinnati with one of the most divisive prospects in the entire draft, Malachi Starks. Look, this kid to me has absolute Minka Fitzpatrick upside, and I don't understand what it is about him that people don't like so much. The only thing I can figure is that he's been in the public lexicon so long, and he just never really improved. He's not as great in coverage as you would want, only had the one interception, but when I look at the raw on him, really good against the run. I think he has high-level coverage ability he was just kind of thrown away from. He's just such a good safety that I see high level. I believe he can be an all-pro. I have him as one of my 10 best players in this class. I just think there's an expectation of safeties. We saw this with Kyle Hamilton when he came out of Notre Dame. It's almost like some people expect safeties to fly, and if they don't do that, then they don't belong in the first round. I think it's dumb. This is a player that ties that entire secondary together for the Cincinnati Bengals. At number 17, I go Malachi Starks, safety out of Georgia. Go into the second round, and I'm looking to the secondary again. I promise I will get to defensive line help in just a second. I think that's where you spend your dollars, but the board doesn't really fall out that way for Cincinnati. At number 49, Darien Porter, cornerback out of Iowa State. This kid is absolutely a physical freak of nature. He can absolutely fly, and he's 6'4". He's not a finished product. Only played a grand total of about 700 snaps at Iowa State, but you saw the high level of him last year. I believe he can come into the league in 1 year. Look, you're not going to get anything from him in terms of run defense. That's kind of why I like pairing him with Malachi Starks, because Malachi can do what Darien can't. You put him on the same side, and this really fixes one side of the defense. Porter is much better in zone than he is in man, but he has all of the raw tools to get better in man as time goes on. This kid is super, super raw, but the raw talent, I see Tariq Woolen in Darien Porter. I think he's going to run really fast at the combine, and then we're going to dig into what is limited tape and see a prospect that 2 years from now could be one of the steals of the draft. Here in the second round for the Cincinnati Bengals, Darien Porter, cornerback out of Iowa State. We get into the third round, and I know Bengal fans are going to say, man, this is another raw guy that I didn't see the production from. I do not believe this kid's going to go any higher than this. I am a lifelong Florida State fan. I have watched every snap he's ever played. It's Joshua Farmer, defensive tackle from Florida State. Got him going right here at number 81. Some of the battles he had with Gray Zabel at the Senior Bowl were some of the best reps that I saw out of anybody my entire week in Mobile. It's also more than I saw from him in 2 years at Florida State. The production is not really there. And I lied, he actually played 3 years at Florida State. The production is not really there, but you can see little pieces of he wasn't asked to do a ton, only played 513 snaps this past year, only played a grand total of about 1,200 snaps over his 3 years at Florida State. So this is not a guy that has a ton of reps in his bag. He's very raw, but then you dig in and you start seeing the pass rush win rate. You see how unbelievably strong he is. I think he's going to run really well at the combine. And you get all of these raw pieces. And with Al Golden, I know he likes to rotate pieces in and out from what I saw of him with Notre Dame this past year. I think he's going to do that in Cincinnati as well. And Joshua Farmer would be a good value, again, because of what you can get out of him 2 years from now. Now, with what I've said about Porter and Farmer, that doesn't mean that they can't be usable pieces in year one. It just means you can't really expect them to come in and be 50 a game snap guys that are going to completely fix your defense. You're also not going to get guys like that in this draft where Cincinnati is. You get into a period where you get a lot of more raw prospects. These are two of my favorite raw prospects, and you get them both with Cincinnati. This is 3 picks that I think really help that defense, give you some rotational pieces. and can tie together some of the guys that Cincinnati has drafted over the last handful of years. I love Lou Anarumo, but I do think it was time for a new voice in the room. And the defense is absolutely what Cincinnati has to fix. If you love these picks, if you hate these picks, if you just want to call me a big mullet dipshit, you can do that in the comments of this video. We will do 3 more full sets of mock drafts, one of them starting the week after next when I get back from the Combine. Next week, I will be live at the 2025 Scouting Combine in Indianapolis. We'll be interviewing players at the podium. We'll be in that room the entire day, and then we'll go over to Lucas Oil, watch the workouts, watch the 40s, all of the different things, and then we'll be doing live streams right here on the channel every day from Indianapolis. If you like this video, click that like button. Subscribe to the channel to see all of our content on the Cincinnati Bengals and all 31 other teams. Leading up to the end of April, the 2025 NFL Draft, and we'll be live from Radio Row from every pick from Titletown. I'm Jeremy Green of NFLDraft.net and the Sportsocracy. You can find me on Twitter at ESPN Draft Nerd, and I'm right here. For the next 65 days, I'm tied to this chair, nothing but draft, and you can find it all right here in the Sportsocracy.
I'm unapologetic. Cancel, yeah, you can try. You can't cancel what's been tonight. I ain't been had a shit, no silver spoon in hell.